piano tutorial for Charuseela. And as you can see, I will be using the synth here, but later in the video I'll explain why you don't really need a synth and you'll be able to play it with just a keyboard. So without further ado, let's start the song with me playing the song once over.
Get on the floor, oh my, play that girl, let's get a rock and a roll. Oh my, beautiful girl, do you really wanna get on the floor? Oh my, play that girl, let's get a rock and a roll. Oh my, beautiful girl, do you really wanna get on the floor? Oh my, play that girl, let's get a rock and a roll. Oh, Charuseela. Mexican tequila, chicken out in the nighty fantasy la. Oh, what to picture cute Indian masala. He's my love symbol. Oh, Charuseela, Sapna Bala, Chevanala, Prema Patashala, Malle Pula, Mafiala, Repinave, Kundalona Kola. Cheti kandame soku blanco cheku Mercury mappuni pulano chekkite selpamai marina sundari Kamudu rasina glamour dictionary innadu pampuna siri Oh, Charuseela, Swapna Bala, Yavanala, Prema Patashala, Malle Pula, Mafiana, Repinave, Kalona Gola. Pusa Waisa Namuni Pelaku Kannulu Polichane Tisiri Sonesulu Takite Nakalu Repalu Kattulu Dusane Dupila Jinkala Dorikide Charuseela, Swapna Bala, Yavanala, Prema Patashala
Okay guys, welcome to the tutorial part for piano, Charuseela. And the song starts off with the guitar going. So I know that the guitar should be doing this, but it doesn't. Usually a lot of guitars don't have the crisp sound, so that's why the piano can also do it. And the instrument I'm using on my keyboard is called nylon guitar. And so the notes start off, it sounds like this. So the chords for that is D minor, C major, and then A minor. So all the chord breakdowns, if you need the notes, if you don't know what the notes for the chords are, they will be on the website. So this is the rhythm for the beginning part. And then the singer starts singing. And then there's a bass solo. The instrument I'm using for this bass solo is Synth Bass 1. So it sounds like this. So the notes for that would be D, 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 F, G, C, C, E, A, F, C, E. So repeat that one more time. And then the second part would be D, 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 F, G, C, C, E, and then F, and then the next octave F, E, and then the next octave E. So all together it sounds like this. And then we're back to the basic notes, chords. D minor, C major, A minor, D minor, C major, A minor. And then when the singer starts singing, you have to, there's 4 orchestra hits. Sounds like that. Okay? And in the song, the orchestra hit is off key. So if you play on the synth right now, I am playing the D note, but it's not sounding like the D note on the real D. So it does not sound like that. It's off key. So if you have an orchestra hit on your synth that is off key, I would recommend using that. If you don't, then just use any orchestra hit. And if you don't have a synth, there should be orchestra hits on most keyboards. And if you don't have an orchestra hit on your keyboard, I would just recommend going to the strings and then just playing some strings on your keyboard. But it's going to sound like happens 4 times. So far, it's going to sound like this. And then the chords after those orchestra hits, it's the same as before. D minor, C major, and then A minor. And then when the singer starts singing, the chords would be, the rhythm is this, but the chords are the same. D minor, C major, and A minor. But the rhythm sounds like this. D minor, D minor, C major, D minor, C major, A minor, C major, D minor, C major, A minor, C major, D minor, C major, A minor, C major. And then when the singer starts singing the part that goes heart to heart to heart to heart to Mexican tequila. So that part, the chords for that is D minor, C major, B flat major, and then A minor. So it's just a progression down. So it goes from D minor, C major, B flat major, and then A minor. So it's going to sound like this. And then the second time, when the singer is ending that part, you start like, you do D minor, C major, and then go straight down to the A minor. And then back up to C major, and then D major. That's how it ends. It ends on a D major. So then, after that part, it's the orchestra hit part again. And then the chords, D minor, C major, A minor. And then after that, it does the English part. So then those chords are the same again. D minor, C major, A minor. And then it goes to a piano solo. On the instrument, on my keyboard, it's called Harmonium 2. So the harmonium solo goes like this. So the notes for that will be on the website, but I'll just try to go over them. So the first note is an F with a grace note of E, so it's going to end up sounding like this. Right? So it's going to sound... So that's grace note E, F, E, D, E, and then that happens twice. And then the third time, it goes on, so E, C, C, and then grace note D that goes to E. So E, C, C, D to E, E, D, D, C, C, A. So that happens twice. Again. And then the second time you do that, it goes... So it goes up to the G. So grace note E, F, G, F, E. And then again. And that ends with the E, C, C, D to E, E, D, D. It ends on a D, so. And then right after that, there is this solo. On my instrument, on my piano, the instrument is vibraphone, but it sounds like this. So the notes for that will be on the website, but just as a heads up, you'll have to go straight from the harmonium solo to the vibraphone solo. So it's going to end up sounding like this. So I would recommend saving the vibraphone in a instrument bank if you have one. But if you don't, then you'll have to find a way to immediately switch from the harmonium to the vibraphone. So at the end of the vibraphone solo, after you go, it starts with this part that I called part 1 on the notes. So those are just the basic chords. D minor, D minor, C major. So that just repeats until the singer starts doing the down part. So D minor, C major, D minor, C major, and then just A minor, C major, and then the next part, while the singer is still singing, it's also it's the chord progression that goes down. So D minor, C major, B major, A minor, D minor, C major, D major, A minor, and then again. And then at the fourth time, it just ends with a D minor. So it goes D minor, C major, D minor, and then you would like to end like this. Because it leads into another orchestra hit because the singer starts singing the Charuseela part. And then you go back to the D minor, C major, D minor, D minor, C major, D minor, C major. So that's the first part. And then the second instrumental, it's a drum solo, but most drums don't have a timpani on them if you're in a band. So the drum set will probably, if your keyboard has the drum, if it has a drumming instrument, the instrument on mine It's called Ethnic Set 1, but it's just a drum set. And you'll have to use the timpani. So it's just, most drums don't have that timpani sound, so you'll have to do it on your keyboard. So the first half of the drum solo, they will be able to do. But the second half, they'll be playing something while you have to do this part. So, claps on every quarter note. So, and then the timpani part would go like this. So, together it would sound like this. So that's how the drum solo goes. And usually on keyboards they have like which instrument you're using. If you're using a drum set, on the bottom, right here, under the keyboard or under the notes, or possibly on the top if you might have a Yamaha. It's different, but that's you would want to find the really heavy drum. So then after that, there's a part that's like a violin solo, which we didn't do in our band for some reason, but it sounds like this. So we didn't do that part. We went straight to the guitar solo afterwards. So we went straight to the guitar solo afterwards. So the chords for the guitar solo is F. So it goes D minor, A minor, D minor is how it ends. And then you're back to the part one, the same chords. D minor, C major, D minor, C major, D minor, C major, D minor, C major, D minor, C major. So those are the chords, and then back down to the progression. D minor, C major, D flat major, A minor. So D minor, C major, D flat major, A minor, and then it ends again with D minor, C major, D minor. And then the hit. C major, D minor, C major, D minor, C major, D minor, C major. And then the song ends with a harmonium solo, the same one that you did before, except it happens only once. But if you would like to do it, you could do it twice. That one. In the song, it ends like this. But the way we played it, we decided to do it twice, so it ended up sounding like the harmonium solo from before. And that's how the song ends. So, that's the tutorial for Charuseela on the piano. And like I said, if you don't have a synth, you should find an orchestra hit on your keyboard. And if you don't have an orchestra hit, I would recommend just using strings. And for this song, I really recommend using a sustain pedal because it keeps everything held out and fills the song more. And if you have any questions on what notes each of the chords I mentioned are, D minor, C major, which notes, then go on the website and we have a PDF with the notes on it. And if you forgot any of the chords, that's also on it. So it'd say D minor and then it would list the notes for the chord D, F, A. So those are on the website. And if you have any questions, usually the notes should be able to answer them. And if you don't, then leave something in the comments below. Thank you.